That's new. Well, I guess I'm not getting any more work done here. Not that I'd done much to begin with.
Detective Clay, did I catch you at a bad time?
Actually, yes, Captain. I was just about to leave.
Hold it, Detective. I need you to look into something before you head home for the night.
It's pretty late already. I should have been home hours ago.
I hear ya. But you know what else I've been hearing all night? Sirens.
That's not exactly unusual in our line of work.
Keep the quips to yourself until I finish speaking, Jonah. This is important.
Sorry. Continue.
I've got every cop on the force tonight working round the clock to handle this shitstorm. We're stretched thin here.
Stretched thin? How? The city isn't exactly teeming with activity, criminal or otherwise.
Ordinarily, I would agree. But tonight's been anything but ordinary.
Crime wave?
Try crime tsunami. On top of that, our orders to conduct everything we do with more scrutiny.
Is that right?
You didn't read the memo, did you?
What memo?
Emailed it to you earlier today.
No. Sorry. Been trying to move away from that stuff.
What? Email?
Email, social media, some websites I like to go on. Trying to cut back on my internet usage.
I've seen the sites you go on, Detective. Probably best for the department that you don't go on them anymore. Oh, in any case, I left a hard copy of the memo on your desk. It's enclosed in an envelope. I know you won't read it anyway, so I'll spare you the details. We're authorized to investigate into cases with unusual circumstances without any interference. Incidentally, the department is labeling any new case as one with unusual circumstances. That means no due process, no search warrants required, no nothing. Nothing gets in the way of our investigations for the time being.
That seems pretty invasive. Are we under martial law?
Not quite. This power is also being extended to other police departments throughout the province and country. We're not the only ones dealing with a sudden wave of crime.
So, Captain, what do you need me to do?
There was a nasty T-bone collision tonight off the corner of 9th and Main. 2 dead, 1 in critical condition.
You're sending a detective to look into a car accident?
No, I'm sending you to one of the victims' homes. Hugo Jones, age 19. He's the one in critical condition. He lives on 458 Willstone Avenue.
Okay. What do you need there?
Just piece together what he did earlier that night. If he lives with someone, inform them of what has happened and ask about where he's been. As I mentioned earlier, you could even search the place if you felt the need to. Do whatever is necessary to accomplish your task. And Jonah, avoid making something out of nothing here.
I better grab that memo on my desk before heading out. I won't read this now, but I better make a note of it in my notebook. I should start by learning anything I can about this kid. His relative, maybe? Oh, there's something on the back. In loving memory of Lily, 1996 to 2015. Smart kid. What's he doing in a place like Barrington? If this was still unlocked, it must have been used pretty recently. Can't belong to Hugo. I could probably learn more about Hugo by speaking to his friends. And since they aren't here, I guess the computer is my best bet. Well, that was uneventful. Maybe I should search the house more thoroughly before trying the computer again. It's too dark to go inside without a flashlight. No batteries. Great. Looks like this was dropped on the way out. I think that's about everything I can find for now. Might be best to get some more testimony from Hugo's friends now. Maybe I should take the lead this time and message one of Hugo's friends myself. The problem is, I can't be certain that his roommate's friends would know Hugo. Talk about good timing. All right, Brandon, let's see what you know. I don't think Hugo is even conscious right now. How can he be texting Brandon? Hello?
Oh, good. It's about time I reached you, Detective.
Did you try to contact me earlier?
Damn it, Jonah. I've been trying to call you for 20 minutes. Why aren't you answering your phone?
Ah, shit. I must have left it in my car.
It's fine, Jonah. I was just calling to let you know that you can head out now.
Head out? But I'm not finished here, Captain.
And what have you been doing there? Do fill me in.
My job. Figuring out what happened to Hugo earlier in the night, along with collecting testimony from his friends.
Well, won't be needing any of that, Detective. His blood work just came in. BAC of .177 at the time of the crash.
He was drunk?
No, he actually has a rare genetic anomaly that naturally produces alcohol in his bloodstream. Boys at the lab have never seen anything like it. They're saying he's some sort of superhuman or mutant.
Wait, really?
Of course he was drunk. What the fuck is wrong with you, Jonah? What kind of question is that?
And we're certain he was the one driving tonight.
Positive. No one else was in that car except him. It's over, Jonah. You can head home now.
It just doesn't make any damn sense, Stephen.
Oh, so. I've seen my fair share of degenerates driving home drunk in this city. It shouldn't surprise you.
First off, this kid wasn't a degenerate. And I do find it surprising that he was drinking, let alone drinking and driving.
Is that right? Maybe sending you here wasn't a complete waste of time. Alright, Detective. What have you got for me?
Let's pull this apart, one step at a time. What do I have that shows that Hugo wouldn't be drinking tonight? I have testimony from one of Hugo's friends. They made it clear that Hugo had sworn off alcohol.
Is that it?
What?
We should keep this case open over the word of one of his friends.
You don't believe him?
Did you consider the possibility that he was covering for Hugo?
I did, and I ruled that out. Besides, this testimony raises questions about what might have transpired tonight.
It raises questions, but it doesn't change anything, Jonah. I have the labs right here. Hugo was drunk tonight, no doubt about it.
Don't you find it odd that someone would change their character like this so suddenly?
Not at all. Maybe the kid had a bad day.
Must have been one hell of a bad day.
Let me finish. Maybe this isn't his first bad day. Maybe he's going through some shit. People get in bad places sometimes, Jonah. Kid was probably just unstable.
Unstable? I don't think so. What do I have that shows that Hugo was doing well in his life? I disagree. I found a letter detailing that Hugo just received a scholarship. Big one, too. Probably more than either of us make in a year.
Maybe for you, Jonah. Some of us actually do good work around here and get paid well.
My point is, you don't get that kind of recognition without putting in the work. Hugo was doing well for himself, Stephen. Why would he go against everything he stands for?
What are you even talking about? What does Hugo stand for?
I have another document that shows how his actions tonight go against his values. Hugo was making regular donations to a charitable organization, Dad. He wasn't just giving them pocket change either. We're talking thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah, I know all about them. A lot of good their work did tonight.
Doing something this reckless, after swearing off alcohol and donating to a charity focused on stopping impaired driving? You can't tell me there's nothing here, Stephen.
I'll say this, Jonah. I wasn't expecting this out of you. And you're right about one thing. There isn't nothing here. All that's here is that you learned about a hypocrite.
You can't be serious.
Jonah, everyone hides a part of themselves.
Everything I've seen tonight goes against the kind of person Hugo is. What is there to hide?
It goes against an idea you have of his character. People try to justify their awful actions in whatever way they can.
So you're saying he donated to this charity while ironically doing the very thing they stand against?
People used to be able to buy their way into heaven, Jonah. This is not all that different. Kid probably did this often and was justifying his behavior by donating to charity.
And that's what you think likely happened here tonight?
We gotta work with what we got. And it's as I said. The lab report doesn't lie. Now, unless there's something else you want to mention, I think we're done here.
Something else? Is there anything else relating to Hugo that I can have the captain look into for me? There was one last thing, actually. Could you look up a name for me? Lily Jones. Look for anything that might have popped up in 2015.
Give me a second. Okay. Oh, Jonah. Did you know who this girl was?
No, I assume she was related to Hugo somehow. Maybe his sister?
Well, if we lived in Alberta, this might have been his sister too. She was actually Hugo's wife.
Wife? Really? Getting married that young?
Yeah, biggest mistake you could make, really.
I don't know about that. Is there anything there mentioning how she died?
There is a police report. I need a moment to pull it up. Whole damn network has been acting up lately. Okay, I got the report. Hmm. Oh, oh God.
What? What is it?
She was in a nasty car accident, like her husband. Only she wasn't as lucky.
Well, she's dead and he's not, so that's a given.
She was still alive when paramedics got to her. Numerous bones broken, organs crushed, and a degloved face.
Degloved.
You know when you pull a glove off your hand and it turns inside out? Same idea here.
Jesus.
Oh, poor girl. Seems like she really suffered before passing.
Wait, how did the crash happen? Who was involved?
Let's see here. The car that collided with her had two passengers. Seemed to be a married couple. The husband in that car was determined to be at fault due to driving under the influence of alcohol.
It all makes sense now. That letter I found about the charity. Hugo started his donations in 2015.
And his pledge to sobriety likely follows soon after.
Stephen, after what we've just learned, you can't tell me this case doesn't strike you as odd.
You're right. Look, let's wrap this call up so you can get back to work. You've got to find out why Hugo left the house tonight.
All I know is that he had plans to go somewhere, and was going to meet up with his friend afterwards. There's gotta be more to this.
Now remember, despite the discrepancies, it's still not looking too good for Hugo right now. So you find out something I can work with, or you head home. Understood?
Understood. Looks like the key I fixed earlier is finally settled. The instructions on the epoxy said I should heat the key to finish the bonding process. Fuck. Did I see anything earlier that's thin enough to slide the key back out? I don't need to use the laptop anymore. If I bend this coat hanger, I can grab the key I lost underneath the upstairs door. Is this Hugo's phone? But Brandon said he was texting Hugo. And I don't think he would be lying about that. Would he? Last message to Brandon he sent yesterday. What the fuck is going on here? Huh? He was messaging Emma Anderson, but she claimed... She told me she didn't know the guy. And from these texts, it looks like they had been chatting for a while. When did they start messaging each other? Not that long ago. This conversation is odd. She started off by randomly messaging Hugo asking to be friends, then just dumped a whole lot of personal interests onto him. Her initial messages seem so forced. It's almost exactly like her conversation with... It's exactly like when she was messaging me on the computer. I'm running out of time. What was the last thing Hugo said to her? For sure, look for me in the back. Lanky guy with a buzz cut. They were meeting up. These were Hugo's plans tonight. He was going to meet Emma. That's gotta be it then. He was meeting up with her tonight, and maybe someone didn't want that happening. The culprit must have coerced Hugo, made him drink, and put him behind the wheel. They must have been riding in the car with him. I have what I need now. I gotta tell the captain about this.
again, Detective. I hope that you
I got it.
got what?
The last thing I need to break this case wide open.
Slow down, Jonah. We don't know that there even is anything to break open.
Oh, but I do. This couldn't be more clear.
Right. Do you remember what I asked you, though? I needed you to find out what made Hugo leave the house tonight. Do you have that?
Of course I do. The reason why he left can be found on this. I found Hugo's cell phone.
In the house? Oh, that he wouldn't have it on him if he was going out.
That is true. What's more interesting is his message history. He was gonna meet up with a girl he met online tonight. Someone named Emma Anderson.
I'll run his name in the system while you explain how this opens up the whole case.
For one thing, when I spoke to her, she didn't know who Hugo was at all.
You're certain you spoke to the same girl?
Positive.
She could have just been giving you shit, Jonah.
I don't know about that. Both mine and Hugo's conversations with her seemed eerily similar. Like it was methodic or something. Anyways, I figured that's gotta be it. Someone didn't want Hugo meeting Emma tonight. And whoever this person was coerced Hugo into drinking like a madman and driving.
Oh, Jonah.
Pretty good job, eh? Higher ups should be happy with what we've learned about this case.
No, they won't be. Results just came back for the search I did on that girl, Jonah. Emma Anderson is dead.
What?
And she's been dead for almost a week now. For fuck's sake, she doesn't even live anywhere near Barrington.
That's impossible. I was talking to her. Hugo was talking to her today.
You weren't talking to her, and neither was he. Probably some catfish who used a dead girl's information to make a convincing profile.
But everything else, about Hugo, I mean, it doesn't make any...
Makes damn clear sense to me, Jonah. Kid thought he was getting lucky tonight with this girl, and he thought he'd boost his confidence with a little liquid courage.
No.
He got a little too carried away and realized he was going to be late for his hot date. Got behind the wheel anyways because his judgment was impaired.
It's not fair to Hugo to just dismiss all this and...
It's not fair. It's not fair. I'll tell you what's not fair. The fact that this fuck killed 2 other people tonight because of his actions, and you're still defending him. Your investigative skills are anything but fair right now. Got too hung up on this case, Jonah. You need to learn to detach yourself from these things more. I think you saw too much of yourself in this kid. You really wanted him to be a good guy in all this when he was anything but.
That couldn't be farther from the truth.
Oh, don't play fucking coy with me, Jonah. I see right through your shit. I know you hate living here, and that you've been looking to get out. The web history at work ain't exactly too subtle about it. So you say this kid who has it all, right? Smart guy, big house, good friends, bright future. And you feel something for him. You feel bad that he's half dead, breathing through a tube at the moment. You feel like he didn't deserve the hand he was dealt. that whatever happened to him wasn't his fault, that it was someone else's, that he was unlucky. You didn't think for a fucking second that he did this to himself, that he reaped what he sowed. Like how we're having this conversation now because of your actions. You got too emotionally charged and didn't see the answer right in front of your fucking eyes. Look, it's been a long night for us both, Detective. But now it's time you finally drop it. You head home, get some rest, and I'll see you in the morning.
Captain,
And if you even think about doing anything fucking else besides that, I'll be taking your badge.
well, gotta give it to the guy. He wasn't wrong. God forbid someone cared about this kid. Losing the love of his life like that? Being stuck in a shithole like this? I was just doing my job. I did everything that was asked of me. More than everything. And I'm the bad guy. I fucked up. I don't mind it, though. It's to be expected. This wasn't gonna be the case that would change my life. I was looking for something that wasn't there. I don't deserve anything else then, if I fucked up this badly. I don't deserve happiness. Not yet, anyways. But Hugo... Am I really this blind? Could I have misjudged his character this much? Why would he cause all that pain? It just doesn't fucking work that way. I refuse to accept these circumstances. I refuse to give up on understanding people like this. I refuse to believe that this was Hugo's doing. I am a man who lives by logic and reasoning and not abandoning your principles on a fucking whim. I need to find an explanation for this. If not for Hugo, then for myself. I just need one final push. Have I missed anything at all with this case? Is there something I haven't gone over? The department memo. The reason why I'm even allowed to be here in the first place. The captain told me we had free rein on investigating anything with unusual circumstances. Maybe this memo can tell me more on why that is. What is this? I'm not supposed to see this. Did the captain give me a different document by mistake? I bet the actual department memo wasn't anything like this. This looks like it was for the captain's eyes only. Sounds like everything has gone to shit. Leads should be reported to Dr. Serbs. Well, I do have a pretty big lead. Let's give them a call then.
Hello?
Dr. Serbs?
Speaking. Who is this?
My name is Jonah Clay. I'm a detective with the Barrington Police Department.
Stop right there. How in the world did you get this number?
I got a little document here talking about emergency procedures and numerous phenomena. It mentioned to forward any leads to you.
Did you steal this document? This was not something for you to see.
My guess is that it was given to me by mistake.
Calling me was a mistake. Goodbye, Detective.
Please, wait. I'm all out of options here.
You don't even know what's really happening here.
I know about the crime wave sweeping the nation. I know from that memo that things have apparently gone to shit at... Where was it you worked again?
You're in no position to be asking such questions.
Regardless, I wouldn't be risking my career calling you if I didn't have any other choice. At least hear me out.
I assume you're calling about a case you're working on.
Yes, I got a kid who's known for not drinking end up in a car wreck completely intoxicated. He was driving out to meet a girl who died a week ago. Furthermore, the kid's friends are getting texts from him, even though he's incapacitated and I have his phone right here with me. Please, help me, Doctor. Nothing about this case makes sense to me.
There's usually a simple explanation for everything. And again, maybe you found something not quite so simple.
What do you mean?
In the interest of time, I'm going to give you a chance to see if this case relates to anything we might have on file. From what I can tell, there's a laptop somewhere in the lower level of the house you're in, yes?
Yes. Wait, how could you possibly know that?
That's not important right now. What I'll do is remote into the laptop and give you a very restricted, low-level access to the query functions of our database. Take whatever it is you have tonight and enter it as search terms into the database. If you get a hit, we'll be in touch very shortly. If not, this phone call never happened.
All right. Any tips then? I have no idea how your database works.
Treat it as if you were establishing a modus operandi for a criminal. Boil down what you learned into short but specific terms. Your access will be very limited, so you must be precise. I have other matters to attend to. I must go. Good luck.
All right. This must be the database the doctor mentioned. Now, I need to rethink this case altogether then, if I'm gonna have any luck finding anything. Gotta treat this like a criminal database. This'll be a long shot, but I have to try. Assuming everything that happened tonight was the result of one person, who is the most suspicious person involved in all this? Right. Emma claimed to not know who Hugo was, despite the fact that they spoke together and that they were meeting tonight. Now, if this was a serial killer of sorts, it would make sense that they would follow some sort of pattern. How did Emma start their conversations? They introduced themselves in almost the same way, asking to become friends or something of the sorts. In both conversations, they then mentioned a whole lot of things about themselves, and followed up by wanting to learn more about the person they were talking to. In other words, this culprit. Right. They want the victim to share. But why? Some killers operate on a set of rules, actually. They won't go through with the deed if the victim doesn't do a certain action. Let me check these phone messages again. Hugo and Emma were talking for a few days, but the messages are so mundane. Brandon was right about Hugo. Guy really keeps things close to the chest. Wait. The last message he sent tonight. For sure, look for me in the back. Lanky guy with a buzz cut. That's it. The rule that this culprit has is... Now's not the time to fuck around, Jonah. Come on. You know this. That's gotta be the reason why the conversations were so similar. Emma was targeting Sam, too. Hugo's last text to her was the only personal thing he actually shared, and he got into his accident a few hours later. The accident... Despite everything here, I can't deny the evidence, though. The blood work showed that Hugo was drunk. There is no disputing that. At this point, it's such a stretch to even consider this being the result of someone plotting against Hugo. After all, folks really do lose it sometimes, and do crazy things. No. I came this far. I gotta see this out through to the end. I'm not giving up on him. The fact that the reason behind the car accident was due to his blood alcohol level just means that... You'd have to be a hell of a calculated psycho to plan that far ahead. To make these events seem like accidents. Never mind that now. There's one last thing I need to piece together. The captain said that Emma had been dead for nearly a week, yet both Hugo and I were able to speak to them. What's more is that Brandon said he was getting texts from Hugo, even though his phone was here in the house. Assuming this is a chain of events that started with the real Emma Anderson and then led to Hugo, the culprit must be... Now's not the time to fuck around, Jonah. Come on. You know this. So that's it then. They assume the identity of their previous victims. This is too crazy to be real, but in a weird way, it's the only way it makes sense. Hugo wouldn't have done any of this otherwise, unless someone forced him to. I better make sure this description of the culprit is broad enough, since I can't objectively say this was a murder attempt yet. The culprit introduces themselves to their victims asking for friendship, requests their personal information, a forensically explainable incident occurs after giving it, and they impersonate their victims following said incident. That's about as boiled down as I can put it. Well, here goes nothing. What the hell is this? This isn't a person? What the fuck is an anomalous entity? But it explains everything. It's all right here. Wait. If the user provides SCP-1715 with factual personal information, within 2 weeks of responding, will be injured in a violent incident. I spoke to this thing earlier tonight. I didn't share anything personal. Did I? Oh, God. I need to call Dr. Serbs.
I must say, Detective, I wasn't expecting this out of you.
Save it. Am I next?
What?
Am I next? I had a chat with this SCP. I didn't know it could lead to anything bad at the time, but
Slow down, Detective. I've read the entry too. Are you certain you shared something that was true about yourself?
the I shared it was the smallest personal detail. There's no way that
I'm afraid that is how it works, unfortunately.
So that's it? I'm destined to die because I sent a message from a fucking computer. These are the kinds of things you work with?
My work is to help protect the world from things that they are better off not knowing about. And we can still do that, Jonah. Together.
How?
Give me a moment here. Yes, immediately. You said you spoke to SCP-1715. On what message board did you find it on?
Message board? What message board?
Then, on what site did you speak to it on?
It was, a social media website. Scuffed book.
Dear God.
What?
I can't go into all the details, but a few weeks ago we had an incident occur. Something major.
You mean what that memo was about?
Exactly. This event caused and is still causing many SCPs to change the way they behave. We've been dealing with the fallout ever since.
There are others?
Many others, I'm afraid. Some infinitely more destructive than SCP-1715. Anyways, this would be an example of such a change. SCP-1715 no longer being confined to smaller online communities.
You know, Doctor, you fascinate me. The work you must do, it's all extraordinary. You want to know something amazing? Everything that's happened tonight, what little interaction we've had together, and learning about all this. In all my years in Barrington, this was the best day of my life. The most exciting thing I could have seen. So, I don't really mind dying then. All things considered, this was the most fulfillment I was ever gonna get out of my life.
I wouldn't resign yourself to death just yet, Jonah.
You said it yourself, though. This is how it works. Opening up to that thing, It means I'm gonna die soon.
Perhaps. But along with the other changes, maybe SCP-1715 doesn't work that way anymore. We can't be certain. Either way, I need you here.
Need me? Why?
You unearthed something that no one in your position should ever have to discover. That is commendable. I cannot let such an inquisitive mind slip away like this either. I will do what I can to keep you alive. I have already sent an extraction team for you. You need to leave the house as soon as you can.